Betrayed by the world he had given his all to save, Harry finds himself cast into the void. With some help, Harry ends up in another dimension, but in classic Harry Potter fashion, gets himself into trouble almost immediately. Can he make his way in the strange world he finds himself in, where giant monster attacks are a daily occurrence and hardly anything is familiar? Check out the epic by 10 Star to find out more. Link in the description below, hopefully. So, when 10 Star said Harry Potter in a Power Rangers costume with a silver cloak, I was skeptical of how that would work. So I did a few sketches like these to see how that might look. And they're interesting to say the least. Even after reading his descriptions, it took a little bit of time to figure out the logistics of how it appears illustratively. I'm not the most, I think very visually, so the words that are used to describe it are not necessarily my first go-to. So it took a few passes to figure out what the costume was supposed to look like. Even this early on, I had mostly the idea of it down: the stripes and the black stripes and the bits of gold, the glowy hologram type things. Yeah, it took some time. Oh, the staff here I'm drawing. I thought the staff was made of wood for the most part, which I wasn't looking forward to illustrating. And then I'm a comic book fan, so I like drawing capes and cloaks. In comic books, we overdo the capes. We really overdo them for drama purposes. So this is just trying to figure out what the color scheme will look like, how it would feel, if it even works, you know. And even at this point I realized it worked, although I knew I had several bits of it wrong from what he was describing. I just wasn't sure how it would work out, so yeah. So this is me doing a lot of drawing poses after I had kind of figured out what 10 Star was thinking, somewhat, for the costume. So I went and did a bunch of poses and backgrounds. I like the idea of the super jump, but 10 Star explains that Harry isn't actually very good at super jump yet. So, yeah, so once we basically figured out the sort of pose that we wanted, I went through and tried to fix up this to be not a super jump, but a simple action stand pose type thing. Obviously, I was always planning on having Hedwig, for example, in the background, because, you know, mechs, if you do a mech of any kind with any kind of justice, it's a very labor-intensive illustration. And, since the focus was supposed to be on Harry, I figured I could pretty much skip Hedwig's details for now, for the most part, because, you know, if you spend all that time illustrating the details on the background owl instead the main character, it kind of could be a hindrance there. Anyway, so that's what this pose is, just figuring out color scheme and whatchamacallit. Yeah, I put in this toy, that, this Transformers toy that 10 Star said looks basically like Hedwig. I thought, okay, that works. That'll give me the size and shape and everything. Hopefully I won't have to do much with Owl. Well, I didn't. Anyway, so this is... I knew this wasn't going to be the final product because of the terrible line work on it. But I wanted to make sure I got the color scheme right, make sure I got the glyphs on the stripes right, and God, I hated well, I didn't hate. They were very labor intensive. The stripes were very labor intensive. Almost as much time went into figuring out the hieroglyphs, or what does he call it, runes, as did the rest of the costume. You know, they're a cool feature and a very cool effect. I'd love to see it in live action. You know, CGI layering over it. Anyway, yeah. So by this time I'd figured out that the staff was metal, and I kept making it lighter than it was intended. I didn't realize until like the very end that the staff was actually golden. Which tells you something. Okay. So this is me trying to do better line work for what I was hoping was the final piece. Somewhere around this time, after I'd done a good percentage of the ink work, I lost my Apple Pencil. Long story. So I had to complete the rest of the piece from roughly this time, but with just my fingertip, which is, it's very difficult when you're used to using a pencil. There's just no comparison between the finger and the pen. The pen is definitely mightier than the finger. So I tried very hard to get paint. So I had to combine the original image that was just a sketch with the fine inks, and then paint over all of that just to make it look finished. I did a custom logo, which turned out okay. 10 Star wanted me to change the staff because it was actually golden. I only realized it at this point, which is awesome. I think golden obviously works a lot better than black, which is what I had it before. So, yeah. At this point, the piece was just coming together pretty much, just finishing up a few things, and this is how Hedwig was put together. We started out with an image of Prowl, an action figure from the 90s, I guess. Do a little bit of altering on the horns, do a little bit of just smoothing the top off, take the colors out, add a different lighting scheme. Yeah, add some blurs and some shine, some shimmer to all of that, and that's Hedwig. Hi, I'm Nicholas Shade. Welcome to my channel. I'm a great big comic book fan, and I like to draw. On this channel, you'll find a lot of process drawing videos and rants about pop culture stuff. Stay tuned for more. Hey now, folks. Don't forget, if you like the video, hit that like and button and subscribe, because there's more video coming out soon-ish. Soonish. That works, right?